It's Friday the 13th here in the southwest of France for the Quiksilver Pros. We start off round 3, heat number 1, with 2 Australians going head-to-head for a spot in round 4. Owen Wright thinking about a world title showdown coming into this stop. 5th on the Jeep leaderboard, taking on Stu Kennedy in his 2nd year participating on the top 34 in a rematch with Kolohe that they had here a couple of years ago. In 2015, it happened in round 5. Owen Wright now. Getting started, top turn wrap. Big wind up off the bottom. Backhand car for Wright. Now setting up a vertical finish. Steps off and now right into Stu Kennedy. Blitzes the first section, well overhead wave. It's already trimmed in size and momentum, but he'll hang in there. Passes Owen. A lot of foam on the face. He wants the lip to hit. He'll punch the fins free. But that section wasn't helping him out. Tough one to accomplish a major move. Speed had such a horrific injury. He kind of knew that he was going to get the call-up for the most of the events that year.
Yeah, beautiful wave here for Stu Kennedy. Nice opening maneuver, but just kind of got caught behind the section there. Now he starts to get back out on the open face, and this is where that white water from Owen Wright's wave kind of really did affect. You can see trying hard to engage the fins and get that rail in the water, but unfortunate there for Stu Kennedy. Difficult thing to do. Owen Wright on his backhand. Just, he's got that leverage, doesn't he? And just that nice, smooth, clean approach. Very rarely do you see Owen Wright kind of rushed, you know. He seems like he's got all the time in the world to unload those big turns. And looks like Owen's going to get a little bit of an advantage on the opening exchange. Cleaner open face. That wave slowed up a little bit more for Owen to just really connect with some big turns. And then that vertical maneuver finishing on his feet, which is going to be the difference.
So Owen Wright getting a 4.17 start. Stu Kennedy a 3.83 with 20.5 to go.
Can't really afford another bad result. As it is, he's carrying a couple of ninths. Stu Kennedy up and running.
Big blast off the lip for Stu. Right into a carving cutback. A little wrapping turn again into the whitewater. Just going to hang in there if he gets some sort of double up. It's a little low road option, not giving him much. And now Stu just slams it shut on the inside. Nice clean surfing from start to finish. Just had the 3.83 start, so a lot of room to build out there with 12 minutes to go.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to give him the lead. We saw Wiggly and Bede decide to come down this way, and it kind of really didn't pan out for them. So these guys obviously deciding to stick to the north end of the bank. More maneuver-based, which, you know, it's not a bad thing, but maybe get a couple of good scores on this bank and then come down, you know, to the south end of the bank and try and get some big barrels. But you can see Stu Kennedy milking this one all the way through. And Joey's going to take the lead with this wave.
It almost feels like every heat the surfers see a spot that's firing, they go out there, and then it's changed in the next matchup. Paddling into this one is Owen Wright. Stretched out bottom turn, big blast, blowing the fins out on the first turn, right into a cut back into the pocket. 6'3" tall, fading through the inside corner. He's got a lot of range, a lot of flexibility with that tall frame, and he'll lose the inside corner finish. 4.17 was his start.
So we're saving a lot of time as well as energy. I love it. What a great addition. Owen Wright on his backhand. This first turn really is where all the points are going to come from. Just blowing the fins out, committing to that maneuver. You know, it's always good to start the wave with something special. And then fill in the gaps, join the dots, and make sure you finish on your feet, which is just as important in the judge's eyes. So Owen Wright looking for a comeback wave, looking for a 4.44. Beautiful deep bottom turn, and then just, look at that body there, just pushing on that back foot. Releasing a bit of pressure, letting those fins slide, and then regaining. So great balance for Owen Wright there. Great positioning in the body, keeping it well and truly over the board. That front foot, just that's where all the balance was, so all the weight was put on that last maneuver, that first maneuver I should say, and then re-engaging those fins. So very technical turn there. So Owen Wright looking for a 4.44, Joe.
Love seeing his approach in barrels. He's the guy that goes to Chopu, sits on the West Bowl, which really doesn't have an entry, and he makes it look so easy. Owen's up again, looking for turns. Little snap to start, needs a 4.44 for the lead change. Another clean snap off the roof, and he'll stomp that one to get out of there.
Well, 3 solid turns.
A challenging heat to separate these two Australians. One's regular foot and Stu with his left foot forward. Owen on the back end, just not getting it. What are you seeing here, Potts?
Obviously a smaller wave, but surfed it amazingly. Big vertical snap at the end. Maybe could have tagged it a little bit more, maybe a little bit more critical. I think those first couple of turns, now that I'm seeing it, cut him a little short. Right there, just a nice little snap, just keeping that down the line speed. It was a smaller wave. You can see a little bit more pizzazz on that next turn, and then straight into the big wrapping over the top. So 4.44 was a requirement. 2 gave it to him, 4.5 and 4.7, and 3 came on just under. Doesn't get any closer than that.
Those split decisions are interesting, but that happens quite often in surfing, especially when you have really solid heats. As we look at Owen now grabbing the rail, looking to get nice and deep. He's got some room to come flying out.
Well,
now a backhand carve with a big rebound as he steals the show. Another jam on the backhand for current world number 5, and now no question, Owen Wright will take a big lead over Stu Kennedy.
I think we were just talking about that. Maybe come down to the south end of the bank and look for a nice little barrel, and there you go. Absolutely nailed it. Owen Wright just getting shacked. He's got 3 minutes and 45 seconds remaining. He's going to need a big score after this wave gets locked in. Let's have a look. And Owen Wright pulls that rail up nice and high, double pumps through that section, and comes out nice and clean. But this was a little bit of rail work to finish off as well. A nice snap at the end of that. Thank you very much for coming. Look at that shot for Owen Wright. I mean, the crowd absolutely loving it. Everyone clapping. The crowd appreciate that. They've been sitting here all morning waiting for someone to get a nice big barrel, and Owen Wright has just produced that. Have a look at the score, Joe. What a way to get yourself back into the heat.
A 9.17 for Owen Wright when he was trying to turn the heat with 4s going to turns. All it took was him moving his position to the south bank to get absolutely shacked.
Oh, look at that. Absolutely perfect. I love that little pulled the rail up twice to just make sure he got the high line. Always an issue here at La Graviere's. To get too low in the barrel, you've got to stay high. You've got to keep that high line, and it's exactly what he did to come out of that one. 9.17.
Decision time for Stu Kennedy from Lennox Head in Australia, fighting for his spot on tour. Digging into this wave, deep behind the peak. It's not going to let him under the hood. Going to turns, it's a tail high reverse, but he's down. 40 seconds to go, still chasing an 8.74 Potts.
Oh my, look, there we go. See the frustration, the passion, and his run here in France comes to an end.
8 seconds on the clock. Stu's just going to dig in. Nothing on offer to start this one off. Floats around the corner, little wrapping cutback on this inside corner. Another big blast, letting off some steam. A frustrated Stu Kennedy will get knocked out in round 3.